Hello, hello, hello. Yes, it is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The server room, abbreviated as TSR, episode 31, making sure that the YouTube channel is receiving content. That is what is stating right now. Making sure that we're not getting any drops. Everything looks pretty good so far. We're going to give it a few minutes. We're going to get it let's say 101. We're going to start the show. Hopefully, everyone is doing okay, staying warm. If you are located in New York City, it is snowing, somewhat kind of flurries. Hopefully, you're chilling home with the hot cocoa and staying warm. We have a couple of people already on the live chat. I appreciate that. And we also have a couple of people on the Discord as well. Welcome, welcome. And it is 101, so let's start this. The channel is stating that it's live. It's got the information, so let's get it going. So welcome, everyone. Wow, we're back. Episode 31. Episode 30, we did it about 2 weeks ago. I took 2 Saturdays off. Nice little vacation, Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone had a great Thanksgiving week. Spent some time with the family, and I got back into work, and we're here again, right? So let me just bring this up. Okay. So a couple announcements. I want to give a big shout out to Lenovo hooking us up with the TD340. That is the server that we have been using since the very beginning. This is the machine that I've been using for the longest. Big shout out to Lenovo hooking us up with the ThinkServer TD340. This is what I've been using throughout the entire show, and really satisfied with the machine. Great machine. Discord is live. This is the link at the bottom of the live stream. You can click on it, join. It's free. We already have a couple of people already within the stream. We have officially about 19 people join this chat server, so that's pretty cool. And it's free. Why not take advantage of it? Next week, it's going to be December 16th. The next show that we're going to do is episode 32, and we are building a Linux home server. Yes, I'm going to try to do more Linux stuff for you guys because I haven't touched base on that, and I love Linux. And last thing on the announcements is YouTube likes and dislikes. I don't really like to talk about this a lot, but it's, for me, I want you guys to help me out. Okay, the likes and dislikes. If you dislike any particular video, okay, you dislike it. But why? Leave a comment. Just shoot me a quick comment saying, "Hey Bernardo, the audio was bad," or the information was crappy, or something. Just don't give me a dislike and not give me feedback. How am I going to approve for you guys if you don't give me feedback? That's even with the likes. If you guys have likes, tell me why you like about the video. Do you like the audio? Was the quality of the video great? Was the information is what you was looking for? The more information that you guys provide for me, the better I can make this channel for you. Okay? Now, today's topic is all about System Center Orchestrator 2016. The reason why I'm using 2016 because it's the latest one, so why not, right? And 2012, it's out right now in production, and I didn't know too much about Orchestrator at all. And I'm like, in my 9-to-5 job, I have a license for it. And when I did some research, I think one of you guys mentioned it on episode 30. Say, hey, do an episode with System Center Orchestrator. And I said to myself, I wrote it down as notes, and I looked into it, and I was like, holy moly, this is a pretty cool application to use. And it's all about automation. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the installation and configuration, as well as running a runbook within the runbook designer. Yeah, a couple of terms that I picked up because of me, learning this myself. And a couple of problems that I've received. I'm going to show you guys how I fix it, so when you are building it within your lab to push it out to production, you're not having any problems. And core requirements. Now, I gave you the core requirements right here. Again, I'm going to share this Google Documents to you guys at the end of the show, so don't worry about it. It's going to be at the bottom. But I also provided you guys a link that gives you a breakdown. It's Microsoft telling you what you need. Hardware, you could get by with a 2.1 gigahertz dual-core CPU with 2 gigs, 200 megabytes. Now, I don't really recommend this. Give it more. Supported operating systems. It supports all the operating systems. Like right now, I'm running 2016. This is the machine that we're running right now, 2016, and I'm using the BJ-WSUS, which we did the publisher stuff. I'm using this machine because why not, right? It already has Windows Server 2016 64. It's already on my domain. It's fully up to date. Why not take advantage of the virtual machine rather than recreating it again and all that stuff? So I'm taking advantage of one of the virtual machines that we did together in the past. It doesn't support Windows Server Core 2016. These are the client operating system support, the SQL Server support right here. The version that I'm running right now is 2014 and all the .NET stuff. Again, this is like a breakdown, really straightforward, okay? And the Windows features that you need to have enabled is IIS can be enabled manually, but I haven't tested this portion right here, so I don't really know whether or not the installation does it. I already had IIS enabled because I used WSUS in the past with you guys, so I already had the default features of the IIS. But you are able to go inside the Server Manager and install it for yourself. If not, if you don't have these services already installed, there's a good chance that the installation will install it for you. But I can't really confirm that. Also, you need to have .NET Framework 3.5. You can enable that within the Server Manager, and 4.5. And you also require the WCF HTTP activation. So this is all the Windows stuff that you need. And again, the link is going to give you a breakdown on everything that you need. So that's cool. Now for Active Directory, again, I try to push out best practice as much as possible. It's best that you have at least 2 accounts. You have a orchestrator domain. So let me fix that. Okay, that'll be your domain and whatever user account that you use. You have one for your service. This user account will have access to your management, your runbook, and your monitor accounts. And then the user one will have access to the security global group, which we go over that. This group is actually created within the installation when you're installing Orchestrator 2016 within the server. But if you want, you could create a security group within your Active Directory, and then when the time comes, you could assign that Active Directory group to that portion of the setup. I downloaded the 2016 eval version. Again, within the Google Docs, I provided the link of where I got it. So you might have to like sign in, register, and get the copy of it. Okay. And last but not least, there's 2 references. One reference is the TechNet, which basically gives you a rundown of how to do the installation, but it's like so wordy. And the PowerPoint that I'm going to be showing you guys is just straightforward images, like boom, 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 step by step, the way that you're going to see it, rather than going here and reading. And it's like less images. Like pictures have like 1,000 words, and if you just have pictures of every single step, boom, it's just super simple. Rather than showing you like the main focus, installation parts. And then we have orchestrator.coplex.com. This right here, this is where we install the IP. Now, IP for the system orchestrator world is considered as integration packs, not Internet Protocol. This is where you could get into automating your vSphere, Hyper-V, Active Directory, Azure, all that other stuff. Because out of the box, it just gives you certain little things. But if you want to automate more stuff within your infrastructure, you have to get these IPs, these integration packs. And one integration pack, which is pretty cool, is this one right here. And I'm going to show you guys how to install it, how to get it up and running. So this is just a cool link. Okay. So further, that's it. That's it with the Google Doc. I don't have anything else. Again, I'm going to share this stuff out for you guys, so don't worry about it. And let's start the presentation. Okay. And awesome. So first things first, we need to install a SQL database. Now, if you already have a SQL server within your infrastructure, you don't really need to do this. All you have to do is just make sure that when you're installing the Orchestrator 2016 within your server, you're pointing it to wherever your SQL server. Now, I'm using my old server that we used in the past, and I'm building everything in one box, and all-in-one. So it's going to have the SQL server as well as the Orchestrator 2016, all that good stuff, okay? So I'm going to install a new standalone installation. Make sure you got the product key, accept the license and terms. I'm going to like really go fast on this because hopefully you guys know how to install a SQL Server instance and a database. If not, again, the PowerPoint stuff is going to be located within the GitHub. So you could grab that and just take your time doing it within your lab. So I'm assuming that a lot of you guys already have a SQL Server within your infrastructure, so you could just bypass this. You can update it if you want, hit next. Again, if you have your SQL Server on another server, just make sure that the firewall is enabled correctly for your Orchestrator 2016 server is able to communicate to your SQL Server. Because I have everything in one box, it shouldn't be a problem, so the warning, it's okay with me. Hit next. We're going to do a SQL Server feature installation. I picked the database engine services, and I forgot to show you guys, I also picked the Management Studio feature as well. Hit next. It's going to be a default instant, and hit next. And from here, I left everything as the default, hit next. And I did mixed mode. I like to do mixed mode within my lab. If not, you could just keep it as Windows authentication mode. And I also added the current user to have access to the SQL database. Hit next. And this is everything that's going to install. Hit install. It's going to do its thing. So yeah, we're doing this pretty quick because it's pretty self-explanatory. So I got the management tools and I got the database engine services. That's basically what you need for Orchestrator 2016 to work correctly. I'm going to close that up. And as always, I like to open up my studio management because I just want to make sure my SQL Server agent is running, as well as that the account that I'm logged into has access to it. Great. The next thing that you need to do is install Silverlight within the server. Silverlight is used heavily within Orchestrator 2016, as well as if you're using the web console. Okay, so I've also forgot to put this link on the bottom, but I think on the requirement link that I gave you, it tells you where to go get the Silverlight. So I hit installed, and once you hit install, hit run, or you can save the file. 64-bit, so that's the version that you need. The operating system that I'm running right now is 2016 64-bit. And hit yes on that. And make sure that these two are unchecked. I don't really think you want your server to have Bing as the search engine as well as MSN as the home page. So make sure those two things are checked off. And what next thing you want to do is hit install. And once you hit install, it's going to do this, and eventually it's going to say this. You definitely want to enable the Windows updates because you want your Silverlight to be up to date during your Windows update patches. Hit next, and then hit F5 to refresh, and then it will tell you what version you have. Now, if you're testing this out now, there's a good chance that the Silverlight version that you installed is different than mine's. Okay, if you look at the time stamp when I took the snapshot, look at that. It was 11:20 at 12:03. So yeah, it's a long time. So there's a good chance that this version right now might be a little different than what you have. Okay, so you always want to run the latest and greatest. Okay, and once you have that, you want to get that copy. Now, hopefully you went into that TechNet site and you downloaded the thing that you need. And what you want to do is double click on it. Now, this exe file is not the setup file. It is not the setup file. This is just to extract the file. So once you double click on it, and it's going to give you this user account control. Hit yes, and you want to hit next, and definitely you want to accept the agreement. Hit next on that. Great. And now you could change this. This is up to you, but it's only going to drop the setup files. This is not the installation stuff. This is just a container with the setup files. It needs to extract itself first for you to start installing. So I left it as the default C drive, but you could drop it to, you could drop it on the D drive. You could drop it anywhere. Click on next and click extract, and it's going to do its thing. And eventually it's going to say finish. Hit finish. And then what you want to do is locate where you dropped it. The default is on a C drive, and it creates a folder called setup System Center 2016 Orchestrator. Open it up, and inside the root of that folder, you're going to see the setup orchestrator.exe file. You're going to see this guy right here. Okay. So you double click on it, and once you double click on it, you're going to get a user account control. Again, it's 2016, so you're going to get that a lot. Hit yes, and you can get the nice little wizard splash. So with a standalone installation, you could kind of do a runbook designer, orchestration, console and web services, runbook services. Now, there's different ways to install this. You could do a one box. You could have one box install everything: the runbook designer, the web services, the server, everything. Right? Or you could split everything up. Now, for me, for the lack of the resources that I have, I'm doing everything in one single box. So I just clicked on install. And once you click on install, you want to give a name, organization, a product key. Because I'm using the eval version, I think it's 180 days that I have to test this out. And this is awesome. That's awesome to have 180 days to play around with it. So I'll click next and accept the license and terms. Click next on that. And click next on that. And okay, so by default, these are the 4 things that you can install within the Orchestrator setup. You definitely need the management server. This is a given. This is what you need to do. When you read the Microsoft documentation, it says that it is best practice to at least have these services on other machines. But again, the lack of the resources that I have, I just put everything in one shot, in one box. I would say the Runbook Designer is definitely something that you can install maybe within your workstation, the workstation that you log in to manage all your machines. You could probably get away the management server and the Runbook on one server, right? Then you have your SQL server. So that's already your SQL management and Runbook server. That's your second server. And then you most likely have an IIS or a web server. So you could have this right here, this on that. So 3 servers, okay? On the next slides, what I did, I just expanded each one to give you a rundown on what's what. Like the management server deploys runbooks and integration packs. That's where the IP stuff is at, to the Runbook server. And the Runbook Designer enacts as a communication link between all components. That's a given. You definitely need to have that. And then the Runbook server, it's handles running instance of active runbooks. Runbook servers require active communication to the database. It's part of the management server installation. Okay. And also, wait a minute. It looks like, yeah, management server and Runbook have to be in one shot. Okay. So it does make sense to have them in one shot. Okay. The next thing is the web services. This is where you need the IIS stuff, but most likely you already have an IIS server, so just make sure you point the installation to that. And then you have your Runbook Designer. This is what the GUI, you double click on the client on a workstation, and this would talk to your server. This is where you start dragging and dropping and stuff. When I started playing around with Orchestrator, it feels like Visio. If those individuals have done topologies within your network, you've done with wireless or servers, you've done a bunch of topologies. You drag and drop like an icon, and then you kind of drag like a line to match it and stuff and get everything connected. It feels just like that. Click next, and once you click next, it's going to start checking all the hardware and software, make sure it's legit, and this is where you put in your service account. Now, for my service account, I use GBTNHD. I put the password and my domain. I tested it out. If you test it out, should work. your credentials should say accepted. That's a good thing. Okay. I'm not using admin, so I'm using a different account. So click next. From here, you're going to give the config the database server. Because my database is local to this machine, this is the name that I'm going to give it. You could either do the Windows authentication or you could do the SQL. I think I did SQL. No, I did the Windows, and I just tested the database connection and it went through. And then the port doesn't really matter because everything is local. But I think the majority of you guys probably have a SQL database. So just make sure that the firewall is enabled correctly within that server. You give the server name, whatever name your SQL server is, or you could browse it within the Active Directory. And then if the account that you logged into this server has access to that SQL server, you could do it this way. If not, you could do it this way. And just make sure you test the database connection. It's green and you're good to go. Then you click next. Now, because this is your first time installing, you could just do a new database. If you're reinstalling it and you have a database already in place, you're going to pick an existing database. But for me, it's a new database. So click next. Now, this is where I was telling you guys you could create an Active Directory, a security group within your AD. If not, it would create it for you. So this is the name that it would create it for you. Now, it creates it within the local group of the server. Local group server. And then you could have, I left this as default, grant remote access to the remote designer. And I click next. Now the default ports are 81 for the web service, and for the orchestrator console port is 82. You could change it up, but I left it as the default, right? Click next. The default location is going to be here. I do recommend dropping it maybe inside a partition if you have the space. But because I'm doing everything within a virtual machine, I just say hell of it. Just drop it on the C drive. Why not? And Microsoft updates, it is recommended that with any installation, especially with System Center, to check on to recommend that. I checked off because it's a lab and I don't really want to deal with it. And the error reporting, I said no. It's up to you if you're one of those people that want to hit yes, and whatever problems or issues you have within your System Center orchestrator or System Center, and you want to give feedback behind the scenes to Microsoft, go for it. And a nice little installation summary, and click on install, and eventually all this stuff is going to get green. When you see all this green, this is always a good thing. I love seeing green stuff, like green check mark, green check mark, green. By default, you're going to have a couple of things checked off. Launch Windows updates. If you have Windows updates enabled, it's going to visit the System Center Orchestrator online. When the setup closes, it's going to run the Runbook Designer. It has a bunch of other stuff, so make sure you hit, go down the scroll bar and make sure you uncheck things that you don't want to open automatically for you. So I left the option to do the Runbook Designer, and this is the Runbook Designer. So this is all the activities. This is where the majority of the goodness. Now this is the default stuff. You're only going to get system stuff, scheduling, stuff to monitor, file management, email, notification, utilities, text file management, and runbook control. It's like this is out of the box. It's not really like heavy duty, like, where's the power? Where's the power of Orchestrator? This is really simple stuff. Now the power comes from the IPs, the integration packs. And now I'm going to show you guys how to integrate an IP within here, because I think I did maybe 2 or 3 of them. Right, so another option right here, this is the console. So when you click on this, it takes you to the web part, and the web part is an available option that you could grant access to certain people to run certain books for you when you're not in the office, or they can manage it for you. Okay, and this is where I'm going to show you guys. So you could download IPs. Apparently, I think IPs are free. I think the only thing you might have to license or purchase a license for is the System Center. I think once you purchase System Center, I think you get the whole package. I don't know the price tag on it, but I got mine's as the 2012 one because I'm definitely going to be pushing out the System Center Orchestrator 2012 one within a production level in my job. I'm playing around with the 2016 one, but all the IPs, it looks like they're free. So I found this System Center 2016 IP. I will provide a link for you guys so you guys can get a copy of it. If you could just basically just go to Google and just search System Center 2016 IPs. So I saved this guy. Again, this is only a container, so you need to extract it. Double click on it. I dropped everything inside the downloads folder. And all the IPs have an extension of OIP. These are all OIP files, Orchestrator Integration Pack files. Okay, and the ones that I got were for Azure, data protection, operations, server manager, virtual machine, and there was a couple of other ones right here. Okay, what I did was I expanded it for you. Yeah, so you got Active Directory, Exchange, Exchange User, FTP, SharePoint, like bam. That's what I'm saying. Like, why not give us this stuff out of the box? They give us those little baby ones, but you have to like find the integration packs and integrate them inside your server so you can have these features in it. Now, you probably say to yourself, okay, you integrate it and then you're done. Nah, you have to do a little bit more to get them to work. So what I did, I created a folder within my desktop, and I dragged them and dropped them from my downloads folder in here. Okay. So now, you would think it would be super simple to kind of import these guys within your Orchestrator 2016 server, but it's not. So when you click on your start within your server, you're going to find within the Microsoft Center System Center 2012 folder, there's an option that says Deployment Manager. Now, when you click on this, you're going to get this. Again, because I'm running 2016, I'm constantly getting the user account control. You're going to hit yes on that. And you're going to get this. This is where you manage your integration packs. You want to right-click on integration packs. This guy, right-click on it. And you're going to do Register IP with the Orchestrator Management Server. You can get this nice little wizard, click on next. And again, do not worry. You will get this PowerPoint at the end of the show. I will be placing this PowerPoint at the GitHub repository for you guys, so you guys can just have it for future reference, take notes, do whatever you need to do to get your guys up and running within your lab or within the production world, right? So from here, what you want to do is click on Add. And once you click on Add, you navigate to where those OIP files are located. So pick the one that you want. I think I picked the one for Active Directory, right? And click on Next. And you're going to finish. And you're going to get this nice Microsoft software license and terms. And accept that. Cool? All right, sorry. Yeah, so once you do that, right here in the bottom, you're going to get nice little log of what's going on. Make sure everything is green, all right? Again, I love those green check marks because that's an indication that we're doing something right and it's working, all right? Now, you probably say to yourself, oh, you're done. Oh, we're finished. No, you're not done. So when you click on the integration packing, you see what we just imported into our deployment manager, but you're not really completed. You're not going to see it within your Runbook Designer as of yet. So what you need to do is within the integration pack node, you're going to right click on it. Again, we did the register IP. Now we need to deploy the IP to the Runbook server. It's weird. So it's a two-step process to get these IP stuff to work. You got to register it, and then you have to deploy it. So you're gonna right click on the integration node. You're gonna right click on this guy right here. I'm gonna go back. This guy right here, right click on it, and you're gonna do deploy IP to the Runbook. Click on that. You're gonna get a nice little wizard. Click on next, and then you're gonna see whatever you registered here. So if you have a bunch of them here, you're gonna see all of them here. Just check the ones that you want. For this example, I did the Active Directory, so I clicked on next. I checked on it and clicked on next. And yep, click on next. And then now you have to pick where you want to deploy this. This is so weird. I don't want this concept of how deploying these IPs is so weird with this application. Then you have to pick the computer where you want to deploy this IP. For me, right, I added my well, I'm using BJ-WSUS, so whatever name you're giving your orchestrator server. Okay, click on next, and once you click on next, you actually have a schedule installation. If you don't do anything here, you leave it everything the way it is, you click next, it automatically installs it for you. So I didn't change nothing. I just left everything as the default. And hit finish, and eventually you're going to see this right here. So right now, it's contacting the server to deploy the IP, which is super weird. I don't get it. And again, like always, go here in the log entry and make sure that it's the deployment of the System Center Integration Pack for Active Directory to machine block. Let's see it. I always love to see this word right here. Yes, see it. Love the green check marks. That basically means it's deployed, right? And so within the console, you're gonna see a new nice little option within this guy, within your activities panel, Active Directory. There you go. Cool. And then when you click on Active Directory, when you expand it, this is basically, you got more stuff, because right here, if you scroll to the right, it's a crap load of stuff. I mean, this is the basic stuff that you could do within Active Directory. You can add a computer to a group, add group to a group, add users to a group, create a computer, create a group, create a user, blah, blah, blah. You can do so much with this. If you're a person that loves to use PowerShell, this right here is a PowerShell with a web GUI kind of thing. All you gotta do is just drag and drop and just make sure everything is connected correctly. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, you have your internet, you have your integration packs already imported within your Orchestrator 2016 server. You could just drag and drop and start getting stuff to work. Not really. You need to kind of configure it for it to work properly. So within your options, when you click on option, so every time you import or deploy a new IP, integration pack within your server, if you go to options, you're going to see a new thing. Now, because I deploy Active Directory, this is what I saw, Active Directory. So when you click on Active Directory, a nice little window is going to pop up, right? You need to do some configurations. You can click on add. Once you click on add, you're going to give it a name. Just give it whatever name. I gave it BTNHD AD Lab, right? And then the type. Okay, the type is going to be, when you click on it, you're only going to see one option, and this option is going to be basically the configuration of the IP module that you imported within your server. For me, because it was Active Directory, that's why it says Microsoft Active Directory domain configuration. So click on that. Once you click on that, you're going to get properties. Now, this is where you have to establish the connection to Active Directory using these credentials. So you have to give it a username, a password, a domain controller name, and then a default parent container. Okay. The container is basically an area, like if you're creating a computer or you're creating a user account, you want that user or computer account to be dropped into that particular OU. Press OK and hit finish, and then Active Directory is good to go. You can actually drag and drop something. I was dragging and dropping something, just playing around right here. And when you double click on it or you right click on it, you could double click on it or right click on it to get to the properties. And within the properties, you're able to, so every time you drag something within the activities panel, you have to double click on it and you have to give it or assign a configuration. Now, the configuration is basically what we did within the options. Remember, we called it BTNHD AD Lab. So we have to establish that connection for us to use that particular resource or that item. So I picked it, press OK, and from here, you could change the properties, a common name. You could add optional properties, which we go over an example pretty soon. So optional properties is this. company, department, description. And I created a runbook dealing with Active Directory, creating a user to my Active Directory, which is awesome. It's pretty cool. So press OK on that. I'm going to show you guys what I did. So I did the common name, first name, last name, and I didn't really do too much. But for this example right here, I'm going to show you guys how to create an Active Directory, creating a user for Active Directory. So what I did is, I always love creating folders because it keeps myself organized and it keeps the next person that needs to deal with this crap know what I'm doing. So I created a folder, and within the folder, I gave it a name. I gave it a name of Create AD Account, right? So if you didn't know me and you come to my server and you look at this folder, what do you think what do you think this runbook is all about? What? Creating an Active Directory account, right? Super simple. So from here, I right-clicked on the folder and I went to New and I created a new runbook. And within the runbook, you need to check out. So that's one of the things that when you create a new workbook, you need to check it out. Right? When you check it out, it's going to say check in. And what I did was within the runbook, I gave it a name. So you could right-click on this little tab right here. This tab right here, right-click on it and rename it. And I gave it a nice little name of Create AD Account. Right? Super simple. And what I did was within the runbook control, this really depends on how what you're doing within your server. It looks like you always need to initialize the data first before you start doing something. That's what I picked up with this. Okay. Now, if anyone out there has knowledge or experience with this, hey, again, leave some information at the chat. I would love to pick your brain because this is all new to me, and I can't believe I had a fully licensed Orchestrator 2012 R2 within my 9-to-5 job, and I didn't really know about it too much because I always deal with SCCM or virtual machine management, and yeah, I think those are the only two that I deal with the most with the SCC. Oh, and SCOM 3. Those are the only ones that I deal with. System Center. Those are the only 3 applications that I love to deal with a lot. But now that I know a little bit of Orchestrator, I'm able to integrate this guy and manage or do a lot of automation with my SCCM, and it'd be awesome. So next thing you need to do is right-click, go to Properties, or double-click on it. You're going to click on Add, and you want to give it a parameter. Now the parameter is going to be the common name, and it's going to be the first name, last name. So I'm just adding a bunch of them, and I just changed the name. All 3 of them is going to be a string, and then we need to create a user. Okay. Now, I dragged this create user within the Active Directory. So when I double click on it, actually, I connected it. You don't really need to connect to it right away. You could double click and go to the properties of each item within the activities panel, and then make the modifications within the properties, then establish the link. But for me, I did the link first. So I pointed, just drag and drop, boom, and then double click on it. And again, you're going to need to do the configuration because now you're talking to Active Directory. So that means when you click on it, you need to talk to your Active Directory option that we configured here. And then within optional panel properties, we need to do is actually within common names, you're going to right click on this guy right here. And you want to do subscribe, publish data. And it's going to be the last name, common name, first name. So it's going to be the 3 parameters that we did within the initialize data. The only way you would see this is if you establish that line connection between those 2 items. Okay, so I did the common name. Now, if you want the last name and first name, that means you have to add the first name and last names within the Active Directory properties. So that means you have to click on optional properties, right? Find the first name and last name, right? First name, last name, and just bring them over. Press OK. Now you got first name and last name. And again, you want to right click on it. And once you right click, subscribe to publish data. And then you find the first name and last name. Again, right? Then next thing we need to do is once you create your user account, you need to enable it. So within the Active Directory panel, I find enable user, dragged it and dropped it over there, and I established the connection between create user. Boom. So that means initialize the data, gets the information from you importing it. It takes that information, puts it inside create user within the common name, first name, last name of the Active Directory parameters. And then once all that stuff is created, it enables it. But you still need to, configure the properties of the enable user item. So double click on it. Pick the little 3 dots. Again, you're going to pick your Active Directory option that we configured. This right here is the communication. This is what established the communication between your server to your Active Directory, because it has the username, the password, and where you want to drop this information into. So click OK. And from here, it's going to do the DN. And you're going to right click on it, subscribe, publish the data. And then from here, I pick DN. So relative DN that's unique. I think that says unique. Press OK, and I'm gonna hit finish. Boom. Now, when you're done with it, now I've seen runbooks much complicated with this, with all the stuff that all the research that I've done online. This thing is like really crazy, like multiple user accounts. If it's nuts. But once you're completed, what you want to do is check in. Once you check in, now you're able to run the book tester. Once you do the run book tester, it's going to say confirm checkout. Are you sure you want to check out this run book? Hit yes. You can get this nice little, it's like a debug. So hit run. Once you hit run, it's going to establish the initialized data part. So see, you put the common name, last name, first name. And then once you put all that, like I did Batman, Joker, Batman. And then I pressed OK, and it's going to start establishing all the green check marks. These green check marks are always good. I love seeing green check marks. So that basically, it goes here, right? Boom, it got the information, initialize it. It goes and create the user, it got all the information, and then once that's done, it enables it. And then I think I went to my Active Directory. I dropped everything inside my YouTube OU, and it's Batman Joker. Okay. So let's go inside the server. Let's go inside. I think today is could be a short one. I think we could end on the dot at 2 o'clock. Awesome. So this is it right here. And let's go inside options. Like, just to look at it, I want to show you guys something. Look at everything that I've done so far within options. I've added an IP for System Center 2016 Configuration Manager, VM, vSphere. This is awesome right here. You got to check this out. Look at the controls that you have within Orchestrator using that integration pack. Let me see if I can get. Look at this. Look at this. You could add a network adapter. You could add a VM disk. You could clone a Linux VM. You could do so much. You know how awesome is that? That your IT manager could be like, hey, Bernardo, I need you to create a virtual machine for me ASAP. All right, no problem. Go to your order. You go to one of your run books, click on it, run it, done. Done. Most likely you would have like a template that you could reference to, and you're done. How sweet is that? Crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah. And this is the System Center 2016 Configuration Manager right here. This is a plus for us SCCM people. Like, come on. Deploy applications, deploy programs, deploy software updates. Like, come on. I haven't really got into it too much, but I got my feet a little wet with the Active Directory. I haven't got myself like put the scuba suit on and like deep dive into the System Center stuff, all the VM stuff. But I'm taking baby steps for now. But I'm loving this. This is an awesome application to have within your environment, because I think you could do a lot of stuff. It would save so much time. If I go to my Active Directory, because I think on my PowerPoint, I did not publish. Like if I go here, let's click on this. I go to edit. So right now, it's whatever I do with my Active Directory is going to be dropped inside this location. And I want to run this run book with you, but I don't want you to think, oh, like Bernardo, like you cheated, dude. I don't want to show you guys that I cheated. So I'm going to go inside my MDT. My MDT is my Active Directory, my DHCP, my DNS. This is the server that we use at the very beginning. So I'm going to zoom in, right? I'm going to right click in here and let's do a refresh. Do another refresh. Okay. We are going to create, let's say, YouTube. Let's create a YouTube account with using our runbook. All right, so let's go back into this guy. And what I'm going to do is, it's already check-in. And it needs to check it out. So we're going to do run book tester. And we're going to hit yes because it's going to check out. Check-in is basically going to save it for you. And then when you need to run it, like debug it, it needs to be checked out. So from here, we are going to run. Again, we need to establish a couple of information. So if you click on each node will give you some information. So let's zoom in a little bit. So when I clicked on initialize data, we need to provide a common name, a last name, and a first name. That's all we're doing. It's going to create the user, and then it's going to enable the user. Okay, so let's run this guy. Let's hit run, click on run, and there goes our nice little dialog box. So from here, we're going to call it YouTube. What should be YouTube BTNHD, right? And the last name is BTNHD, and the first name is YouTube, okay? Now, before I hit OK, it's no magic. Let's go over here. Let's refresh it again. Refresh it. There's nothing in there. I don't want you guys to think, oh, it's magic. You did something behind the scenes, and it works. I tried that at home, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work in my lab. It doesn't work in production. All right, this is live. I'm refreshing. Nothing's in there. I can even, let's close the Active Directory. Let me minimize this stuff. Let's open up Active Directory again. Okay, cool. Go here, go here. Awesome. Nothing. Refresh again. Nothing. Got it? Let's go back here. I'm going to press OK. Green check mark. That's great. I do notice that sometimes you got to be extremely patient because it gets stuck on one item. If it gets stuck, it's okay. Just, chillax. Go get a cup of coffee, come back, and most likely it's done. For me, it is done extremely fast. Got those green check marks. Awesome. Finally, something finally works during the show. That's awesome. But before we go into Active Directory, I want to zoom in for you guys because I want to show you each thing, because when you go to show detail, they break it down to you even further. I mean, if you had problems or issues, which I'm going to run it again and not enter any information, and I want to show you, it breaks down. Like it gives you the runbook name, the process ID, the server, the last name, whatever. If you go inside show detail for the create user, there it goes. Like it gives you a lot of detail, so you could try to troubleshoot as much as possible. I mean, if you error it out, like right now, this is the activities. It dropped it inside our DN, a container. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you can even break it down. You can even do like home directory. Like, wow, you could do a lot. And you could probably do, there's an option within the properties, within one of these items, to do looping. And then you have the enable. The enable one is, I think, all the way in the bottom over here. This just enables their account. That's it. So you create the account, takes the information that you provided, creates it, and then enables it to be live. Okay? So let's get out of here. We're going to close this up. Let's go back into Active Directory, right? I'm going to zoom in for you guys. So nothing in there. I'm going to right click and I'm going to refresh. And if everything works well, we should see that YouTube BTNHD. There goes our user. Sweet. Awesome. But there's a problem, because this just creates first name and last name. So most likely you might have to configure it to give it the user login. So it's just another thing that you need to add to your runbook. Okay, so if let's zoom out of here. Let me close this up. So if I go inside, close you up, bye-bye. Go here. So if I need to initialize, yeah, you probably need to add a parameter. and give it a parameter. I don't know. That's login name, I think. Login name could be something. I don't know. Let's hit finish and then create user. Let's double click on it. And then you will do option. And I think trying to remember. Where is it? Is it the Sam account? I think it's the Sam account. Yeah, I think it's Sam account. And you can even provide a password if you want. How fly is that? I think it's Sam account. I'm about 95% sure that it's Sam account. I think. Yeah, I think it's Sam. And from here, right click on it, subscribe, publish the data, and you want to do login name. Okay. Finish it. Done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check in. I don't need to enable because you don't need to make any modifications with enable. The enable is just enabling the user account. And we're going to run the book tester. It's going to say, hey, you want to check it out? It says, hey, yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm going to expand this a little bit. And I'm going to hit run. Awesome. So let's give it a common name. I don't know what common name you want to do. Jesus. Let's, oh my gosh. I went blank. Let's go flash drive. F drive. Last name is drive. First name is flash. All right, let's see if this works out. Let's click OK. All right, establish the connection. Right now it's activity. It's green. It's green. Awesome. So let's go back inside our VMware. And let's open up this guy right here. Awesome. And let's right click and refresh. Flash drive is right here. Double click on that. Flash drive, and account. Oh, interesting. Oh, so I did it over here. Huh. So it's one of those things you got to constantly play around and modify it to the point. All right, cool. Yeah, we got to try to get this right here. We got this right here, which is the Sam account, but we also have to do the user login account for this guy. All right, so we got that. We just have to do this, and we also have to make the modifications for this. I mean, it's a lot more that you have to do, which is pretty awesome, but like, come on. Rather than doing right click here and then going to new and then just going to user and then typing all this stuff up and then hitting next and then hitting next. Like, come on. Right here, it gives you a nice little menu. You type, done. And then if you're real smart, you could probably loop it or go inside it, maybe a CSV file. And boom, it does everything in one shot for you. So that's cool. Cool. All right, so we're going to go inside the chats because we have about 7 more minutes. Awesome. Let's go inside the chat. Say hello to everybody. Welcome. Let's see who's online. Awesome sauce. Let's go all the way to the top. We have Ram online. Welcome. We have Ben says, do you have a really good Thanksgiving vacation? I did. Very relaxing. Got sick. It's one of those things like when you stop working, you get sick. And I got sick. Sucks. We have Sylvia. Say, hello, Bernardo. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Cheers from Rio. Awesome. Brazil working here today, but we'll try to follow. Awesome. It is okay. Appreciate you stop by. Make sure you stay focused on your work. The stuff will be live pretty soon. I mean, but it'd be archived and be published so you guys could just catch it anytime. We have Moad. I know I killed that. He says System Center in general, where to start. Oh, systems. It depends on what you're doing. If excuse me, it really depends. It's really like System Center is broken up to server manager, virtual machine manager, configuration manager, operation manager, orchestrator 2016. And I think there's 2 or 3 other ones. It's like packages, there's so many. out of the many System Center applications out there, I like to use 3 of them: SCOM, SCCM, and Virtual Machine Manager. Those are the ones that I like to use a lot. Orchestrator is another one that I'm going to add under my belt, and I'm pretty satisfied with that, so I'm happy. We have Richard. I'm on both Discord and YouTube chat. Awesome. Also, I want to give a big shout out to, I believe he's not online, Patrick. He was promoted, Patrick Strickland. He was promoted on Discord as a system admin. And it's all about you just chatting, providing information to those, helping others out, and, you know, eventually you will get promoted. You know, it's one of those things, you know. The Discord is all about helping each other out. Nice little community. It's free. It's another way to harass me with questions as well, and maybe others receive the question and help out, tune in, you know, give their 2 cents on it. So it's free. Why not? Take advantage of it. Angie, guess I know what I'm doing today. This is great. Awesome, Angie. If you're gonna be testing this stuff out, again, at the end of the show, the Google Docs, which the Google Docs information is this right here. This right here, we will be published live for you guys, shared out, so you guys could have access to it. And the PowerPoint presentation that I went over, it's about 158 slides, but come on, you could go through that stuff real quick. Just follow, next, right? If you test it out, I want to see how it works out for you. What kind of runbook stuff you've come up with. Please share it. Please join the Discord. Please share your runbook stuff and share it out, because it will help us out, everyone, especially me, because I'm learning it. Sylvia says everybody's paying attention, nobody's chatting here. Angie says, can you populate AD description using this tool? Yeah. You are able to do AD descriptions as well. Again, it's just one of those things that you need to go inside the optional stuff. What is the optional properties? And just pick that parameter over, and then you're able to configure it. I mean, you could do much more. Look, I want to show you guys something, because this is nuts. Let me see if I could find something. Boom. Let me see. I'm searching something right now for you guys. I'm searching something for you guys. Give me 1 sec, because I want to show you guys. Like, this stuff could become, like, extremely awesome if you take your time. Like, I just want to go over a quick example. Check this out, guys. Let me see if this guy's, look at this. I just did a Google search of just System Center System Center Orchestrator 2016, and look and check this out. Look at this runbook. Look at this. Look at this. Crazy. He has initialized the data. He gets the file status. It has a bunch of errors. So depending on which type of error it gets, it would do that particular command. And then you're still able to scroll, so he still has more stuff over here. This is nuts. I mean, if you have an imagination and you love automation and you're trying to make your life easy, this is the software that you need to look into. Again, I'm trying to get myself into it a lot, because I find myself wanting to automate a lot more. I've been doing everything with PowerShell, but with Orchestrator and the IP stuff, the integration packs, I mean, everything will work extremely seamless. Oh, we have Ben King says, can you add users and computers to OUs using Orchestrator? Yes, you could. I think you are able to do it. Again, I think within, let's go back. Let's go inside the server. Let's go back inside the server. So when you get into, I'm trying to think. Like, if you go to create user, optional properties, within here, you could do the container DN. The container DN is basically where you want to drop it, right? My question to me, again, I'm not a guru with this. I'm still learning, like you guys. I'm still learning this. So I'm assuming whatever you assign within your options right here within your Active Directory, again, within your Active Directory options, you gave it a default setting to drop it somewhere. So I'm kind of imagining myself, okay, because I set that, if I do this, if I assign a particular OU, will this override what I set as the default? I don't know. It's probably something that one of you guys could test out. And for the individual that says something about the description, there goes the description property. You can just drop it in there. Okay. All right. What else? What else? See, how about some licensing costs? Now, I can't really go over too much with the licensing costs because, you know, it's one of those things. At my 9-to-5 job, I didn't really purchase it, and it was my IT manager that purchased it. So it's a volume license thing. So if you just gotta, I don't know. I don't really know how the Microsoft licensing stuff is. Normally when I go to a job or my consultant and stuff, they have a volume license site, and you just log in and just purchase it. But I don't really know like the details of how much it's going to cost. All right, guys. So it is 2:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for everyone joining in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel. I appreciate every one of you that have stopped by, chatted with me, learned something new. Hopefully you learned something new. If you have any feedback, negative, positive, again, as always, leave it at the comment section. I'm always reading them and taking them to heart and also in consideration because I'm trying to make myself better for you guys and make the channel much better. If you are a guru or you have experience with System Center Orchestrator 2012 R2 or whatever version you're using right now within your lab, you have pointers, you have runbooks that you would like to share out to the world, join the Discord or shoot me an email. I'm willing to create an article out of it and publish it on my website and give you credit. You know, share the knowledge. Share the knowledge. We got one more person left a comment and said, "Did you try SCCM version 1710? It's not showing up to my environment to upgrade." I'm in the same boat. It has not showed up as of yet within my infrastructure. So I'm still waiting for it to be deployed. I haven't tested it out as of yet. I'm kind of satisfied with the SCCM version that I have. It's one of those things, if it's not broken, why fix it? I'm not too anxious to get 1710 because everything is working. And, I mean, as soon as something breaks, probably I push out to 1710. But my SCCM right now, the SCCM that we've been using throughout the entire show, has not received it at all. So I'm still waiting just like you. So hopefully it comes out. I don't know if the 1710 is being pushed out by regional. If it's done by regional, probably NA, North America, hasn't received it yet. So who knows? And you also Brazil. So, yeah, so it's probably not done by regional. But who knows? I will keep a close eye on that. If 1710 is, you know, available within my server, I will do a video for you guys how to upgrade your current SCCM to 1710 because most likely you got to upgrade your ADK, make sure that's up to par, and then you're able to push out the 1710. Okay. Ram says you can run this command for V1710. So, Ram, are you telling me that it's available, but it's not being shown within the current SCCM version that you have? It's available, but it's not being shown within the console, the servicing side. So that means you could run a command for it to push out automatically. Is that the case? Hopefully you can respond back to me in a minute. We're going to end the show at 2:05. We got one more minute. Again, thank you so much for everyone joining, chatting, showing some love. If you haven't done yet, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, share the video, share the knowledge. Make sure you join the Discord. It's free. Join the family. Get promoted to a IT director or a system admin. And share the love. Ram says Google search, look for enable fast update ring 1710. Ooh, I would definitely put that into the notes. So I'll add that to the notes. Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much for showing the support. I'll catch you guys next week. Again, next week's topic is all about building a Linux home server. We're going to go over the specs. We're going to go over the hardware. We're going to go over the installation. We're going to get ourselves really dirty with Linux next week. Again, hopefully you guys enjoy, and I catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much. Again, as always, how do you end this? I always forget how to end this thing. How do you end this? I think. How do you end it? I think this is how you end it. All right. Oh, I think this is how you end it. Did you end it? No, I think. Wait a minute. All right. All right. Bye.